How you doing? My name's Chef Rafael, and today I'm going to be preparing a couple dishes for you. First one's going to be an arugula and endive salad with Maytag blue cheese topped with grilled pears, and we're going to be serving that alongside a grilled guava glazed pork chop. Alright, so the first step in our salad today is going to be cutting up our endive. And when you cut up an endive, you want to take care to keep it in lemon water or any kind of citric water. It could be orange juice, lemon juice, or lime juice. I prefer lemon juice because it's a little bit lighter in flavor, it doesn't affect it overall. And it'll keep it from oxidizing, otherwise it will oxidize. It's very similar in that nature to an apple. Same thing's going to happen, it's going to turn brown on you if you don't. So to cut it up, we're going to just thinly slice it, or julienne, right across in nice thick strips. And then, like I say, you're going to rinse it in just some water with lemon juice, half a lemon or a whole lemon, just squeeze right in there, and I just throw the other half in there. Okay, just like that. The next step in our salad is going to be the peaches. You want to select a nice firm peach, but still yielding, a little soft to the touch. It should smell nice and sweet and have a nice bright color. What we're going to do basically with the peach is we're going to run our knife all the way around to remove that pit. Very similar to what you would do with an avocado. And then you just twist it, it comes right apart. Alright, so if the peach is nice and ripe, the pit should pretty much be soft enough to loosen with your hand. If you need to loosen it with a spoon or something, be careful with a knife because you might go through and hurt yourself, but it should come right out, no problem. Once you got the pit out, you're basically going to cut that in half, and one more time. And we're just cutting it into wedges. Basically what we want to do. That part of the pit on top, as you can see, we'll cut that right off. Just straight away like that, and you'll get most of it off. And I'm leaving the skin on because we're going to grill it, so it'll help keep it intact better. Okay, so we're going to be marinating our pork chops next, and for this instance we have a nice center cut rib chop, about an inch or so thick. We're going to marinate it very simply with a little bit of olive oil and salt and a little bit of lemon pepper. Okay, you want to get both sides, nice coating of seasoning and olive oil, and let that sit for a couple minutes before we throw it on the grill. Marinated for about 10-15 minutes or so. We're going to go ahead and throw them right on the grill. You want to make sure your grill is nice and hot, and you want to hear a nice searing noise when you put them on. You want that noise, otherwise your grill is too cold and you will not get the nice grill marks and caramelization. Pork chops continue to cook. What I've done is started to reduce some guava juice or guava nectar. You can buy it in a can in the supermarket. And what I'm going to do with this is, as the pork chop is almost done, I'll start glazing and brushing it almost as if it was a barbecue sauce with this guava reduction. What I've done here is one can, it's about 12 ounces, and I'm going to reduce it down by about 60-70% so that I get a nice thick glaze going. The grilling meats, you want to leave it on each side without messing with it too much. So the less you turn it and the less you mess with it, the better. If you want on pork chops this size, you're talking about 5 to 6 minutes on each side for a medium rare. If you want a nice medium well, I'm talking about 8 minutes on each side. So after about 4 minutes or so, we're going to give our chop a nice quarter turn to get some nice crisscross grill marks. We're also going to be having a side dish of butternut squash, and I'm going to be doing this in a saute pan right on top of the grill. Very sauteed with a little bit of salt, a little bit of brown sugar, and some butter. Just until it gets nice and brown and caramelized and soft. We get a nice sweet flavor out of that, and it'll be a great side dish for our pork chops and salad. Okay, so after about 8 minutes or so on this side, we got a nice crisscross pattern on the grill marks. We're going to give it a turn and do the same thing on the other side. And get our peaches ready to get on the grill. I'm just going to toss them again a little bit of olive oil and actually some salt and some pepper and a little bit of brown sugar as well, so we get some nice coloring on there. Just kind of toss it together lightly, and these guys are going to go right on the grill. Now since these peaches will only take about 5 minutes or so to cook, you want to put them on towards the end of the cooking process for the pork chops. So pork chops take about 10-12 minutes depending on your doneness. Put them on the last 4 or 5 minutes. They'll be done at the same time. It's almost done. Our glaze has gotten nice and thick and reduced. And we're going to go ahead and start brushing it on there for the last couple minutes to give it a nice sweet barbecue-y flavor. Just take a little brush it on liberally, get it nice and coated, just like that. I'm going to let that cook for about another minute or so, get a nice glaze over it. We're going to make our vinaigrette for our salad. It's going to be very light and simple, just a couple ingredients, oil, vinegar, a little bit of lemon juice, and salt and pepper basically. We start with about a cup or so of olive oil, and to that we're going to add about a 1/4 cup apple cider vinegar and the juice of about half a lemon. We'll go ahead and mix that together, add our salt and pepper, and that's going to dress the greens for our salad. We have our arugula, we have our Maytag blue cheese, our endive, and our vinaigrette that we put together. I'm going to mix in a little bit of the endive, okay, some of our blue cheese, and we're actually just going to pour some of that vinaigrette right over. Okay, give it a light toss. Add in some sliced almonds, a little crunch, and that is basically our salad. And we'll go ahead and put that on a plate now and serve it with the pork chop. Everything's just about done. Our butternut squash is nice and soft. So we'll bring it over here to the table. Put some of this on the plate first. Get a nice bright color contrast on that plate. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put our salad down. Okay. Make sure we get some endive and blue cheese. Then finish it off with our pork chop and grilled peaches. Okay. You can always hit the pork chop with a little bit more of that guava glaze. And there you basically have grilled pork chop with a guava glaze served with an arugula endive salad topped with grilled peaches.